In this training, we're going to take a look at creating and navigating records inside of SmartSuite. So if that's of interest, stick around and let's get into it. Creating and navigating records in SmartSuite is super simple. Let's go ahead and hop on into my screen and start taking a look at some different ways that we can do this. So here I am inside of my Sales CRM, inside of my Sales Resources application. So it's important to note that a record is going to live in a specific application. So before you create a new record, make sure you're in the application where you wish for that record to live. So maybe I want to add a new contact to my Sales CRM. First, I have to flip over into my Contacts application. Now it's time to actually build that new contact. So I have a couple of options. If I'm in a grid view, like I'm in currently, you'll notice that I have an icon here in the bottom left corner of my screen where I can hover over it and it says Add a Record. By clicking this button, it's going to automatically create a new record here, and I can add information. Maybe this is John Smith. And I can just tab through the different cells in this particular record. I can also hold down Shift and hit Tab, and that's going to take my cursor backwards through the different cells in the record. So this is a great way for you to quickly and easily add a single line of new data into your SmartSuite. And I want to point out that every time we move into a new cell inside of this record, by hitting either Tab or holding Shift and Tab, well, in doing that, that record is being saved again as soon as we move into the next cell, and any changes that happened in the cell that we just left are going to be reflected in an update of that record. So I might come in here and add, let's say, a phone number. So once I tab over, I can hit that plus and just add a fake phone number here for demonstrative purposes. Once I'm done, click Done, and I can continue tabbing through other parts of this particular record. Now, another way to add a record, in the upper right corner, we have New Record. And when we push this, we're actually opening up a brand new record that has no information in it. The key difference here is that I am asked to enter all the information at once and then save that record. So in doing this, at the time that the record comes into creation, it will be saved and created with all of the information at once, as opposed to the method I just shared with you, where we were adding information in each cell of that record step by step. So here I might come in and add a new record for Jane Doe, and if all I cared about was adding a phone number for Jane, I could come down here, do the same thing here, and once I am done here and click Save, now the record comes into existence with all that information up front. Now, the other question here is, how do we navigate records inside of SmartSuite? Well, the easy, simple answer to that is we can scroll up and down on our view. So all of the information in this view is based on the toolbar settings that we've spoken about in other trainings. So go check those out. So the first piece, though, is to make sure that the information you're looking for is actually here inside of this view. It could be that that information is being filtered out, in which case you'll never see it on the view. Assuming that the information that you're looking for, the record you're looking for, is here, you can simply scroll up and down to find that particular record. Once you've found the record, you can expand by opening that record up, either by clicking here at the left side of the record, or just by hitting the space bar and opening that record and looking at all the information inside of it. One last thing to point out in terms of navigating records is that we can then click on these arrows here. Once we've expanded a record and we have the open version in front of us, we can cycle through the different records in this application and just see what else is there. And if you can see on the left-hand side, we're actually following the order of the view that we're currently looking at. So after Jennifer here, we're going to find Jesse. So I can click on that right arrow, and here is the record for Jesse, etc., etc. So navigating records, creating new records in SmartSuite is pretty straightforward, but there are a lot of options before you, so get familiar with them, rewatch this video if you missed any of it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you have any questions about what we covered in this training, please ask them below in the comments section of this video, and until then, we'll see you in the next training.